Alright guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So last year I did a boot collection video and you guys absolutely loved it. Since then I've lost some old pairs of boots and I've gained some new ones. So this is going to be an updated boot collection. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. The way I'm going to do this is just go from brand to brand. So first up is all of my Adidas boots. Why not start it off with the latest pair of boots that I received, the Adidas Ace 17 Plus Pure Control in this pretty awesome looking colorway. So I haven't actually worn these yet. I've got another pair of Ace 17 Plus Pure Controls in a different colorway which are really comfortable and stuff, so I have no doubt that these are going to be really good. I just don't want to get them dirty because they're really white. I'm sure I will wear them at some point, but not at the moment. The other pair of 17 Plus Pure Controls that I've got are these ones in the red and black colorway. I've worn these so much recently, especially in game, and they are so comfortable. I'm a big fan of them. They kind of remind me of the old school Predator with the red and black colorway, which I'm a really big fan of. Definitely my go-to boot at the moment. I have two more pairs of laceless boots, and one of those boots is the Adidas Ace 16 Plus Pure Control. Just look at these. I'm so scared to wear them. They definitely have the best sole plate of any boots that I've got. That is just so cool. But yeah, I'm definitely too scared to wear these because once you get these dirty, I think there's no going back. And the final pair of laceless boots that I've got are one of the first colorways that was released, the 16 Plus Pure Control. I'm a big fan of these. As you can tell on the bottom, all of the shiny stuff is rubbed off. You just get that when you play a lot in them. But I was a big fan of these boots for quite some time. I wore them loads. And you can tell on the front how this is all dirty, this is all quite nice still. I'm right-footed. But I was a big fan of these, but I've just moved on to the 17 Plus now. One of the comfiest boots I have in my collection are the Adidas Ace 16.1 in the leather version. I've got them in bright yellow, which is pretty cool. They'll make you stand out on the pitch and stuff. They're definitely one of the comfiest pairs that I've got. I haven't really worn them like for games and stuff, but I've worn them quite a few times when like filming videos. I'm a big fan, but when you've got laceless boots and stuff, you kind of just move on. But I still like them. Now we're getting on to some of the older pairs of boots I have in my collection. These ones are the 11 Pros. Big fan of these, never worn them, but the look of them is just awesome, especially the sole plate. That is a really cool sole plate. Once again, they're really white, and I just know as soon as I wear them, they're gonna get really dirty. But they're just a nice pair to have. One of the most worn pairs of boots, also one of my favourite pairs of boots in the collection, the Adidas F50. Big fans of these, the colourway is awesome, I think they look so good on feet. I love the whole snakeskin design and everything, and they are so lightweight. I'm a big fan, but times move on and I've wrecked these a lot. Now moving on to one of my favourite boots of all time, the Adidas Predator Instincts. I've worn these so much. These were my go-to boots for so long. I absolutely love them. So comfortable. These ones I've worn a couple of times as well, just in a different colorway. The blackout version are definitely the best. Big fan of these. Moving on to my Nike boots, I've got two pairs here. The first pair is a pair of Tiempos in a white and orange colorway. As you can see, I've worn these out quite a bit, but they were really comfortable. They weren't the high-end model, but they were really comfortable, which surprised me a bit. I weren't expecting them to be that good, but I was quite pleasantly surprised. Big fan of them. They look awesome. The other Nike boots I've got are a really old pair of boots, and the only boots I have in the collection with studs on, Mercurials. They look interesting. I think at the time I thought they looked a lot cooler. They are really old, but I've still got them. I don't really wear these anymore, but I kind of just want to keep them because they're one of the first pairs of like good football boots that I had. Now we're going to move on to the New Balance boots that I have. I have two pairs of New Balance boots, and they're both Furon 2.0s. One in a blackout colorway and one in a red colorway. Aaron Ramsey actually gave me these, which was pretty awesome. And when I got to meet him, he gave them as a present, which was so cool. These are an interesting pair of boots because they're really thin, like so thin, so if someone stands on you, it's not going to be nice. But they are quite light, and they're not uncomfortable, they're not like majorly comfortable, they're just alright, if that makes sense. They're not my best pairs of boots, but they're not my worst either. and the blackout pair just look awesome. The only pair of Puma boots that I've got are the Puma Vigor boots in the green colorway. I actually did a test video of these recently, so if you want to check that out, I'm sure I'll leave a link on the screen somewhere. But yeah, I was really impressed by these. They were my go-to boots when I was playing in games in Barcelona for quite some time, and I was really impressed by them. Now I'm going to show you my concave collection. So the first pairs of boots that I'm going to show you are my concave Halo Plus, which look absolutely awesome. I just love the sole plate on these boots. I think they look really cool. Always a fan of blackout. As a boot, they're alright. They're not majorly comfortable, but they're not uncomfortable. They don't really like, they're not going to be my go-to boot is what I'm saying. But they look awesome. The next pairs of boots that I'm going to show you are the concave Volt in the blue colorway. I was actually really surprised by these. I wasn't expecting much when I wore them, but yeah, they really surprised me. Like, they're actually really comfortable, and they're quite good to play in. And when they were clean, they did look really good. I did a test video of them, so I'll leave a link to that somewhere on the screen right now. I've got 2 more pairs of boots in the concave collection, and one of those is the concave Aurora. I'm going to be brutally honest, they weren't my favourite boots to play in. They gave me blisters. I'm not sure if this was because I just hadn't broken them fully in yet, or they're just not the best boots. I'm not sure, but I just wasn't a massive fan of them. The final pair of concave boots that I've got, and the final pair in the collection, are a bright yellow version of the concave Volts. So I haven't actually worn these yet. I've worn the other Volts that I've got, so I know they're comfortable, I know they're a good boot to wear, but I haven't worn these ones yet. The yellow is a bit standout. The final thing that I'm going to talk about is the trainers that I've got. So I've got quite a few pairs of trainers that I've just picked up here and there doing different things, but there are only 2 pairs that I actually wear, and they are the Adidas X 15.4s or 3s, I think, and this pair of Nike trainers that I have no idea what the name of. I think they might be Elasticos or a version of Elasticos, I'm not too sure, but I got these both ages ago. I definitely need a new pair of trainers. These ones are falling apart at the bottom, and these ones are also getting there, so I'm definitely going to need to replace these, but these are the trainers that I wear at the moment. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video of all of the boots in my collection. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me which pair was your favourite. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.